that suddenly everyone's looking at me. My mind has been wondering, what could it be?
If you're either very old or very young, that commercial probably makes you think of pizza or baseball. But if you're a child of the 90s, you know this as the commercial that played before the VHS edition of 1990's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's right, the 30th anniversary of the live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. That was very good, by the way. Well, is not coming up, but we're talking about it anyway because it's awesome and we don't need an excuse. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if you somehow couldn't tell by the title, is about a group of 4 turtles who are teenagers who grow up to be human-sized when they get mutated, and also they learn ninjutsu from Splinter, a talking karate rat. So that's pretty much all in the title. Before the sewer-dwelling characters took over movie theaters in 1990, they gained popularity first as comic book characters created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, and later in their iconic Saturday morning cartoon show of the same name.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, heroes in a half shell, turtle power.
The original comic, which drew its inspiration from Daredevil and Frank Miller's Ronin, was incredibly dark and gritty, while the cartoon show that ran from 1987 to 1996 was considerably lighter and goofier.
Could we interest you in a subscription to Turtles Home Companion?
1990's live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie split the difference and made a Turtles superhero movie that was fun while still paying tribute to its grittier roots. The movie was directed by Steve Barron, who also directed Coneheads and, holy crap, way more importantly, the music video for a-ha's Take On Me and Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. What was that tiger doing in that video? Nobody knows. Anyway, the story introduces us to Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello, the 4 pizza-loving mutated turtles turned vigilantes who protect the streets of New York when the police can't seem to get the job done. They live in secret in the sewers with their sensei, Master Splinter, and follow a strict code to avoid being seen by the public. Because, you know, they're giant mutant turtles, and people would likely freak out. The 90s was a different time. They make friends with 2 humans, the reporter April O'Neil and another vigilante, the hockey stick-wielding, mask-wearing Casey Jones, and team up to defeat the evil Shredder and his growing gang of karate teens known as the Foot Clan. While the plot of the movie is adapted directly from a storyline from the comics, the movie made sure to borrow some important elements from the cartoon show. For example, did you know that in the comics, every turtle wears a red mask? Yeah, the cartoon decided it made sense to give different turtles different color masks to help identify them. I mean, can you imagine how difficult it would be to differentiate these giant turtles in this incredibly dark movie without having them handily color coordinated? Good call. The movie almost didn't get made. No one in America wanted to distribute it because no one thought anyone would want to see a movie about pizza-loving giant turtles. And studio heads weren't the only ones who didn't believe in the film. Critics hated the movie at the time, with one reviewer saying the turtles, quote, are never remotely convincing as teenagers, mutants, ninjas, or turtles, leaving them stranded on the screen as big green Muppets with different colored headbands. Wow, f you too. But the audience had spoken. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles opened at #1 at the box office and became the highest-grossing independent film at the time. The rubber turtle costumes designed by Jim Henson's company were incredibly hot, constantly falling apart, and required multiple people to operate. With the exception of Josh Pais, who did the voice for and wore the costume of Raphael, the people who wore the costumes of the turtles didn't do the voices, but all of the in-costume actors made cameos in the movie. Leonardo shows up as a gang member, Donatello's in the Foot Clan, Raphael is a passenger in a taxi, and Michelangelo, appropriately enough, delivers the pizza. Speaking of voices, you might be surprised to learn which celebrity voiced which turtle.
I think he's blushing.
I am not.
I think he's actually turning red. Maybe not.
Goonies star Corey Feldman voiced Donatello, while Brian Tochi, who starred in Revenge of the Nerds and Police Academy, voiced Leonardo, and Robbie Rist voiced Michelangelo. That last name might not stick out to you, but Rist was a former child star made famous for playing the controversial cousin Oliver in The Brady Bunch. Fun fact, Academy Award, either winner or nominee, depending on when this video airs, and American treasure Sam Rockwell briefly appeared in the movie as a guy who recruits teens to the Foot Clan.
Check it out, man. Anything you guys want, we got. Anything you want to do it.
He's credited as head thug. Unfortunately, the film does not feature any of his impressive dance skills.
Hey! Wait for me! God, I love being a turtle!
The Turtles have existed in comics, multiple cartoon shows, and the franchise has since been rebooted as a new film series for Michael Bay. But for our money, the dark, hilarious, and surprisingly emotional 1990s version will always have a special place in our hearts. And honestly, f that one critic. Mean!
Cowabunga!